Hello everyone, this is a test run of a bean animal overflow system on a 75-gallon acrylic tank with a 40-gallon breeder sump. So we'll dive right into the overflow system here. So we have not a quite full coast-to-coast overflow here. The internal box is 36 inches in length, 4 inches in height, and 2 inches in width. The external box is 16 inches in length, 8 inches in height, and 4 inches in width. So as you can see, what ends up happening is my pump pumps water from the sump through the spray bar. Spray bar overfills onto the overflow here. Comes over as a stream of water. I'm not sure if you can see it here. So it comes over as a stream, goes through these 3 holes. You want to keep this water level the same in the internal box as the external box for the most quiet setup. So this first one here is my full siphon, capped off. This one here is the emergency, the middle one. And lastly, this one is the open channel. As you can see there, I have the hose rubber band right above the emergency. Has to be above that level, and that's just there just in case it needs to turn into a full siphon. And then the emergency is the upturn over here. Alright, so remember the order. The left here, full siphon, emergency on the middle, and the open channel on the right there. So we'll go down here. So here we have the full siphon line. Full siphon line goes into this first chamber. This first chamber is just a chamber just so it overflows over into this chamber. I have filter floss here. Filter floss wedged in the middle of that section. Goes to some port foam section. This is PPI 10 at the top, 20, black one, and this goes into a media section. This media section is all full of just ceramic rings. There's about 3 huge bags there of it. Then it goes under here. There's a small PVC cutout there that I did to hold that weight up of the ceramic rings. So it goes under. It's going to get difficult to see here, but it's going to go under. So it goes under and over into this section. This is my last return section. So this here, sorry I missed one here. This one back here is actually the emergency one we saw in the middle up there. And that one, I didn't choose to extend it all the way into the sump. Just because if that ever comes on, you want to actually hear it. So it'll start splashing there and making quite a bit of noise. This last one is the open channel. At first, when you start the system, it will be pretty loud, then it quiets down. I might actually end up extending that a little bit lower. As you can see some water coming out of it. It's only supposed to be a little bit of water coming out of that last line, that open channel. I might extend it a little bit lower. Just as water evaporates from this section, you'll get a lot more splash from that, and I'd rather prevent that. And of course, this is the return pump. I have a couple of heaters here, 250 watt Jaeger heaters, and to a true union ball valve, and then again it goes up into the tank, backside into this spray bar back at the beginning here. And this is a heater controller here. It's still going up to temp. I just set up the tank, so it'll be a while till those two heaters get back up to temp. And here's the wide view of it, of the tank itself. It's a very slimline background I have on here. Try to do my best to try to make it as discreet as possible. As you can see, it's not very wide. Forgive all the bubbles. Got a lot of oxygen in my water, so it'll off gas after a while. What I'll do now is actually I'll turn off the system so you see what ends up happening. I have it hooked up here. This DJ strip, this top one is actually the one that controls the pump. So I'll turn this off. So what happens when you turn it off is you'll see this section start to fill up. The siphon breaks here because of the slots. So there's no chance whatsoever of this system overflowing my sump. And even if it got a lot of water coming in here, I have quite a bit of leeway here just in case it does send more water down here to this section. As you can see, that's quite a bit of space there for the return section. The return section is pretty large. If I remember correctly, it's close to 16 inches in length, and of course it's 16 inches to the back there. A very big section. So I'll turn this back on, and you'll see this is going to start to drain. So it'll start draining. It will get loud here when it starts to siphon. You see the water level going down. That's normal for that to happen, so it's trying to gain the siphon up there. It doesn't take too long actually to get this to quiet down. And that is it pretty much. Water goes back to what it was at earlier. And it'll take a full couple of minutes for all the pockets of air to leave the system, but for the most part it's extremely quiet. I could actually hear the AC in my room a lot more than I can this whole system. A very quiet system. A lot of surface skimming. The last thing I'll do is actually I'll turn off the system and I'll go over to the overflow box so you can see what happens up there. Let me do that now. So I'll turn it off one more time. So when I turn it off, you'll see in this section it stops pulling from here. The water goes down to a level where it can no longer suck the water. Not sure if you can see here, but this is my return. I have a water change pump back there. You probably can't see it. It's actually this bulkhead you see here with strainer. Hard to focus on that, but that's to make water changes a lot easier. That just drains off to my garden in the front yard. So last thing I'll do is I'll turn it back on. I'll turn the system back on and I'll let you see the overflow box on the outside. So turn it back on. It starts from over there. The spray bar fills the tank. It overflows onto the inner box. Goes through the 3 holes. Overflows here. Never quite makes it to the emergency. It gets close. then simply starts going down to its normal operating level. If anything were ever to get clogged up in the siphon line, it would basically just go off to the next line, which is the emergency. The emergency turned into a full siphon, and the open channel will remain as the open channel because of that airline. That's it. That's the system. Quiets down rather quickly. I actually have a cover for this, so it'll be even quieter out here. That's it. That's the system in its entirety. Very satisfied with the way it came out. It's a lot of work for the plumbing and everything, but happy the way it came out.